WTA Finals Live. Elena Rybakina overcomes Jessica Pegula in tight three-set battle to book place in Final A. Place in the WTA Finals showpiece is on the line as the Final Four compete in Riyadh today. The semi-finals of the season-ending WTA Finals take place today, with the Final Four battling for a place in the main event in Riyadh. Elena Rybakina is through after outlasting Jessica Pegula in a three-set tussle lasting more than 2 hours, ultimately winning 4-6, 6-4, 6-3. The Kazakh now has 4 wins from 4 this week, and although she wasn't at her best in an error-strewn performance, rediscovered her serve and easy power at the key moments to take down 5th seed Pegula. She will face the winner of Amanda Anisimova against world number 1 and top seed Aryna Sabalenka in Saturday's showpiece, with a first-time winner guaranteed in Riyadh. Elena Rybakina's return to the WTA final stage was always going to be a test of poise and endurance. In a tournament that often becomes less about rankings and more about who can summon their best tennis under exhausting pressure, her semi-final clash with Jessica Pegula turned into exactly that kind of examination. It unfolded as a tight three-set battle filled with momentum swings, tactical adjustments and emotional discipline, ultimately ending with Rybakina punching her ticket to the final. This was not a match defined by blazing winners and highlight reels alone. Instead, it was a match rooted in the tension of fine margins, where every serve, every angle, every decision carried the risk of shifting control. Pegula, coming off a strong stretch of form, stepped onto the court with her trademark balance and depth. Her strength often lies not in overwhelming power but in the clarity of her patterns. Heavy cross-court forehands, deep backhand drives, smart court positioning. She arrived in the semi-final calm, steady, and fully aware that Rybakina's greatest weapon, the serve, had to be neutralized early. And in the opening set, Pegula did exactly that. She read the rhythm. She stepped in on second serves. She redirected pace efficiently. She forced Rybakina into longer rallies, where timing became harder to sustain. She broke early and protected her lead with unwavering discipline, sealing the first set by simply refusing to blink. But Rybakina has built her career not just on power but on the ability to reset. As the second set began, her body language shifted. The shoulders loosened. The serve percentage climbed. The winners, those flat laser-line strokes that look effortless but require impeccable timing, began to land. Pegula suddenly found herself defending rather than constructing. The ball started rushing through the court faster than Pegula could adjust, and the rallies shortened. Rybakina played with clarity. Keep the points tight, lean into first strike tennis and do not give Pegula rhythm. This was the turning point, not dramatic but undeniable. Rybakina claimed the second set, not with explosive dominance but with controlled acceleration. Her serve was the axis on which the match now spun. Pegula had to fight simply to stay level with the pace, and the psychological shift began to show. Rybakina, once contained, now looked expansive. The third set, however, did not become a runaway. It became a grind. Pegula dug in, attempting to slow the tempo and drag rallies into neutral exchanges where her consistency could re-emerge as a weapon. She earned break points. She forced Rybakina to breathe harder between points. The margins tightened again. This was the purest phase of the match. No flourishes, just resilience layered over resilience. But in the critical moments, the deuce points, the midpoint rallies where hesitation can unravel momentum, Rybakina held her ground. The serve once again refused to falter. The forehand, when needed, struck through the court with a clarity Pegula could not blunt. And when the final break came, it came not through a spectacular shot, but through patience. Rybakina waiting for Pegula to overhit under pressure. Closing the match required nerve. Finals are not given, they are claimed. Rybakina stepped to the line for the final service game not with forceful theatrics, but with cool execution. A pair of unreturnable serves. One deep backhand up the line. A final rally where she absorbed pace and redirected it into open court. Match. Victory. Final secured. For Rybakina, this win is more than a line in a record book. It reinforces a truth that has followed her across seasons. She is a contender not just when she is dominating, but when she is required to endure. Her best tennis is crisp, clear and clean. But her winning tennis is built from patience, selective aggression and trust in her weapons. For Pegula, the loss is not a collapse. It is a demonstration of her continued ability to stand with the very top players. Her improvements in shot tolerance, her confidence on bigger stages, and her refusal to retreat mentally all carry forward. She did not lose because she faltered. She lost because Rybakina found just a little more when the moment demanded it. And now the final awaits. The WTA Finals stage has always carried an aura unlike the rest of the tour. It condenses the year's work, its triumphs and brutalities, into one last theater of skill. The title is not just a trophy, it is a closing statement. Rybakina enters the final with evidence freshly earned. She can handle the grind, the pressure, the tactical duel, the emotional stakes. Her serve remains one of the most structurally dominant weapons in women's tennis, and when she layers confident baseline rhythm behind it, her ceiling rises significantly. The question now is whether she can summon one more performance, one more example of control meeting power, one more match where she dictates rather than reacts. Pegula exits the semi-final knowing she stood in the exact center of a match defined by elite margins. She made it hard. She made it long. She made it honest. But the final belongs to Rybakina. And as she steps into it, she carries with her the composure of a player who has been here before, and the hunger of a competitor determined to close the year with a statement, not a memory.